All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light.
I need to have another one of these.
Amen, amen.
Gee. I kind of.
This is way over the edge. Like we it's not even over the edge. We died already.
This is beyond the event horizon. Like we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah, we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah.
How you die does not redeem how you lived. You do not become a hero in your death when you are a weapon of the enemy in your life.
Well, negotiations, right? Politics.
And we're out of time. So you.
I don't know what's going on with StreamYard today. Everything is all wonky. I'm gonna try this a third time. Hey, y'all, Gravity, any day above ground living. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your Tuesday. Now, this better work this time or I'm done. This is why I don't need StreamYard doing these updates. I don't understand why. At least let us know in the email first if you're going to change the interface around so we can get used to it. At least let us test it out for 24 hours before you launch it. They just give it to you Pause. Anyway, you see who's on the screen. That's Trump. And Trump is in front of a college with glasses on. By the way, this is AI. I told you AI dangerous. They even getting better. Now they got the dirty part at the top of the door. It's getting dangerous out here. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. Today, we're here to talk about how Trump is selling out America to China. And if you have been a connoisseur of this channel, all 2023, well, half of 2023 and 2024, I did a series called After Affirmative Action, where I highlighted, the fall of affirmative action via SCOTUS and the ramifications of it. And periodically, I would bring y'all stories about what happened. Well, today, it could close the chapter of that series, but it could also extend it. Because Trump sat in front of Laura Ingraham, Dinesh D'Souza's former, I'm going to put you through the mattress, went in front of her and explained why he's going to allow 600,000 or so Chinese students to come over to America to be educated here. We're also going to revisit the Chinese testing rings that they had, because something else came out and it was quite, it got MAGA in a pinch. Oh, we're lying? Great. And I'm not a liberal, but we'll show you. But let me address the room. And Michael, you know what we're going to do for you today? We're going to start early. I want you to come up here because I need a co-host today. Since you wanted to come in here and call me a liar, you get to do this show with me. And I'm going to play the clip and you tell me if I'm lying. So I expect you to be up here very soon. Okay? Okay. But before we do all that, let's see who's in the building. Wallow J, good morning. Kelvin Black, good morning. You StreamYard bot, you bastard, you. Good morning. Bernard Bell, hello. You seem new, but welcome. Strom Thermos, that's a crazy name, but good morning. That's a wild thing to say early in the morning. I'll even say hi to you, Michael. I want you to click that link. Since I'm lying. SD Johnson, hello. Bandito, hello. Larry Duncan, hello. Tammy Dorsett, hello. And for those who haven't said anything in the live chat or comments, hello. And by the way, salute to the veterans. Anarchy of the West, are Democrats better than Republicans? What's your opinion? They both suck. If one wants to, this is what I need Democrats and Republicans to do for me, to show me that they don't suck. I need them to do something.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now.
And then I need them to go outside the front of the Capitol and do this.
I told you punk ass niggas to get off the motherfucking timeline and rap. That's the problem. You niggas be crying. You niggas be bitching. You niggas need to fucking rap. When you can't nobody else come up here if they not rapping like that. Stay your punk ass at home.
I need them to go outside and rap. I need battle rap on top of the Capitol. That's what I need. And the loser jumps. That's what I need. And I know FBI gonna come see me later because I said that. But that's okay. But let's get into it. And I guess Michael ran. What's wrong? I'm a supposed liberal. This should be easy to debunk me. But that's them. So what we're going to do for y'all today, family, and those that are new, we're going to play what he said. And it was quite interesting. But before we do all that, we got to do the customary house cleaning. Even though, sometimes most times on the phone, we don't do disclaimers. But today, since we're on StreamYard, we're going to do disclaimers.
Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Now go and start the teaching.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
All right, so there's that ugly mug of Trump. He always looks constipated or pissed off and constipated. But let's see what he said, because someone told me I'm a liar. Where is that comment? Because I know he a punk and he ain't gonna come up here. So he said I was lying. Well, let's see if he's correct.
Get them out, but that was pulled back. You've said as many as 600,000 Chinese students could come to the United States. Why, sir, is that a pro-MAGA position when so many Americans?
Yes, I saw this whole thing. He said this was pro-MAGA.
Kids want to go to school, and there are places not for them, and these universities are getting rich off Chinese money.
Sure. Never said about China, but we do have a lot of people coming in from China. We always have, China and other countries. We also have a massive system of colleges and universities. And if we were to cut that in half, which perhaps makes some people happy, you would have half the colleges in the United States go out of business.
So what?
Well, I think that's a big deal.
Are they?
So Laura Ingraham said, so half the colleges closed. So what? So you know what's going to happen. She knows this. It's been dry over there at Fox News. It's been dry. It's tough for them to drum up stories. We understand this. But we're going to continue. Go ahead, Trump. Tell her more.
You would have the
historically, United States.
Yeah, but you would have, as you know, historically, black colleges and universities would all.
Now, why are we in it? Why are you bringing up HBCUs? I see what he's doing. He's going to turn HBCUs into historically black and Chinese universities. I see what he's doing. Because for the last year and a half, we can even take it back to Obama. They've always seemed somehow, some way, every year to highlight how broke HBCUs are. For no reason. They love to bring that up. I think he's going to try to put them there so he could boost the numbers and say that he helped HBCUs because he knows that the foreign investment and the corporations are going to go put money into that. That's what I think. But I'm going to let him continue. Go ahead. You thief, you.
All be out of business. You would have a system of colleges and universities.
So we're dependent on China to keep our university system going?
But I think it's good to have. I actually think it's good to have outside countries. Look, I want to be able to get along with the world.
They're not the French. They're the Chinese. They spy on us. They steal our intellectual property.
What, do you think the French are better?
Yeah.
I mean, really? I don't know. I'll tell you, I'm not so sure. We've had a lot of problems with the French, where we get taxed very unfairly on our technology, where they put 25% taxes on American products. Look, assuming everyone treats us badly, because that's the way I am, but we take in trillions of dollars from students. You know, the students pay more than double when they come in from most foreign countries. I want to see our school system thrive, but at the same time, I know you and I disagree. We're never going to agree on it, but that's okay. And it's not that I want them, but I view it as a business. We have millions and millions of people. Also, I want to get along with countries if possible. You know, people are shocked. Remember, Hillary Clinton said, we'll be in a war. I stopped 8 wars in the last 9 months.
Okay. This again. Sir, you didn't stop those. I'm not going to go over this again, but sir, you act like you just came in there and told everybody to stop and you whipped out the double all shotguns on people and told them to stop. You didn't do that. The owners and controllers of global financialized capital did that. And by the way, all those countries he's talking about are going to get applications to BRICS. And BRICS cannot have 8 skirmishes going on while they're trying to build something for the rest of the world against the West. We already know this. Especially with the Azerbaijan-Armenia conflict. Azerbaijan got an application for BRICS last year, which means there's a very good chance next year in January when they announce who's going to get in, they might be on that list because they're very strategic. But, you know, we're going to let him continue because he know everything. Go ahead, sir.
I don't want to be in wars. If I am in a war, we're going to win the thing fast, and it'll be violent. But you know what? I don't want to be in wars. But one thing, you don't want to cut half of the people, half of the students from all over the world that are coming into our country, destroy our entire university and college system. I don't want to do that.
I wouldn't lose any.
And don't forget, MAGA was my idea. MAGA was no.
MAGA was Reagan's idea. You stole it, but we're not going to go there. You see what he's doing. He said it.
Over the world that are coming into our country, destroy our entire university and college system. I don't want to do that.
I wouldn't lose any.
And don't forget, MAGA was my idea. MAGA was nobody else's idea. I know what MAGA wants better.
And there it is. He said it. Hey, MAGA, that's your man. I know what MAGA wants. Say it again.
Destroy our entire university and college system. I don't want to do that.
I wouldn't lose any.
And don't forget, MAGA was my idea. MAGA was nobody else's idea. I know what MAGA wants better.
Wouldn't lose any.
And don't forget, MAGA was my idea. MAGA was nobody else's idea. I know what MAGA wants better than anybody.
Can I get a hand clap for myself in the chat, please, for those who've been here? Didn't I not tell y'all he was going to sell out MAGA before the midterms? They so dumb, they don't even realize this is happening. And it's happening live. And he's saying it on Fox News. He's going to sell them out. He's going right back to the left. Very slow. Oh, it's going to be fun. Well, wait a minute. We're near a holiday. And you know what happened last time? A couple of the MAGA idiots went over there to try to advocate for foreign people to come over here. What happened? They got raked through the coals. MAGA, will you rake Trump over the coals for this? We'll find out. You sure MAGA was a great idea? You sure? I don't think you want those receipts. But you can stay. We're going to show you those receipts. Receipts and receipts, because you know them type of students, they say receipts the first rate, receipts. But there's yours, Trump. And that fool that told me I was lying. There you go. He said it. Let's see what the comments are hitting on. Oh, by the way, before we do that, just to show you something.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern in.
It's funny that I can always pull up a clip of Shahid Bolson when Trump says something like that. I wonder what he would think about what Trump said. Let's see.
The same is true, of course, obviously, with tariffs. You know, basically everything that Trump proposes or promises or wants to do, all of it amounts to shutting America off from the world and directing everybody elsewhere, you know, telling all business to go elsewhere. The only place he approaches with open hostility, you know, from a policy point of view, the only place he approaches with any hostility is Europe and other Western countries, other allies. I mean, he might be serious about trying to take control of the Panama Canal.
Now, by the way, that part, the only place Trump attacks with open hostility is Europe. And you saw him just take a shot at France. And Laura England, whatever the fuck her name is, she loved France because they white. By her standards. They're a white country, so it's okay. But by the way, before we get to them comments, Brother Shahid said that 9 months ago when Trump first got in. And we're seeing it play out in real time, but that's great. All right, let's see what these comments are hitting on. Now, here we go. We got a bot right off the bat, a bot. Trump has put America first with every decision he has made. I'm sure the Trump people that are in here right now will not agree with that. And especially this dude who just put this comment in here, and you in the UK, allegedly. We seen what them Asians have done to your country, so y'all say. But you cool with this. All right, say less. Legend Killers, hello. You said, man, Dami will run for POTUS and avoid any progress until then. I hope this doesn't happen. No, he'd never get in. He can't run for POTUS. If he's smart, he goes for Congress. He'll do more damage. He's got way too much of a stink on him. Even if he cleans up New York, he has way too much of a stink on him. And you've already seen how they treated Vivek, softer than Japanese cake. That's not happening. They're not going to vote for a brown person ever again in life. That's something that the left would do. But we continue. Are Chinese students flooding historically black colleges? No. And that should be easy for you to go look up. But you're MAGA, so you're dumb. I think what you need to understand is that MAGA isn't just a brand. It spoke to people as Americans first, as restoring the way things were before the woke corruption, as uneffing the DOJ and bringing back lives worth living. Lord have mercy. Restoring the way things were before the woke corruption. We're going to play a game today. It's Veterans Day. I know it's a bot, but I just want to see. We're going to play games today. So I asked him what woke means. I just want to know. He knows maggots can't get into college. He also said HBCUs would close without Chinese students. I honestly did not know HBCUs were being propped up by Chinese students. It's like less than 3% of the total HBCU system population. But, you know, I told you he's going to try to flood them over there because God forbid he sends them to the PWIs. There would be a revolt. They're allowing them to do that in California. They let them have the California system. You try to put them in the University of Alabama, more of them, that party school, shit. You want to send them to Notre Dame? Shit. All those whiskey bottles will be out in full force. The Asian girls might like it, but I'm just saying. Send them to Caitlin Clark's old alma mater? Shit. Send them to University of Texas? Woo! You know them comments. I don't want no soy sauce on my brisket because you know they racist. Shout out to the 134 people up this early. Hit the like. And if you're a veteran, shout out to you. I salute you. I'll put myself on camera for a second. Salute. You have given me the ability to do this because you put your life on the line. So shout out to you. And shout out to the veterans in my family. All right, we continue. Trump jumps from Chinese students to French people to MAGA, all in one incoherent ego trip. Pathetic. And it goes on and on and on. But for those who didn't think that this was a thing, here's Reddit. You know, that white supremacist haven, but sometimes you can find some good information. Now, this is a subreddit for the community of UC Berkeley. So this was 2 months ago. Trump plans to allow 600,000 more Chinese student visas to force American students to lower colleges. Title: in a press conference on August 26, he announced that he will be allowing 600,000 additional Chinese students to enter U.S. schools, partly due to a deal struck with Beijing and also to artificially dry up the availability of seats and force Americans down to the lower schools, which allegedly will save the bottom schools. I suspect the 15% numbers made up and was just pulled out of nowhere. Secretary of Commerce, a former Epstein business associate, Howard Lutnick, was quoted as saying, well, the president's point of view is that what would happen if you didn't have those 600,000 students is that you'd empty them from the top. All the students will go up to better schools, and the bottom 15% of universities and colleges will go out of business in America. There are currently about 277,000 Chinese student visas here. So if the White House goes through with this new policy, there will just be shy of 900,000 Chinese students attempting to enter our universities, more than triple than ever before. And he left the link. So let's see what this link is.
Doing that a long time, I guess. Congratulations. Are you getting tired? Are you getting tired?
Yesterday, you said you wanted to allow 600,000 Chinese students to study in the United States. Could you and the Secretary clarify what is the policy on Chinese students in the United States of America?
Well, we think we're getting along very well with China. And I'm getting along very well with President Xi. I think it's very insulting to say students can't come here because they'll go out and they'll start building schools and they'll be able to survive it. But I like that their students come here. I like that other countries' students come here. And you know what would happen if they didn't? Our college system would go to hell very quickly. You'd have, and it wouldn't be the top colleges. It would be colleges that struggle on the bottom. And you take out 300,000 or 600,000 students out of the system. I like having, and I told this to President Xi, that we're honored to have their students here. Now, with that, we...
Say that again.
And I told this to President Xi, that we're honored to have their students here.
Now, did you ask G or she? Did you ask him, would he be honored to take 600,000 American students? I'm sure he laughed at you as he was eating his pork bowl. Continue, sir.
With that, we check and we're careful and we see who's there. And Marco wants that. We spoke. We're in the same position. But we have a tremendous college system, the best in the world. Nobody even close. That's why China sends them here. And you can call it an industry if you want, but you're talking about millions of people. And I'm honored to have the students from China come here. He stops crime. He can be whatever he wants. I'm not a dictator, by the way.
Now, this was on the South China Morning Post, so that's why the likes, dislikes look like that. They love that shit. But MAGA, again, y'all raked old Vivek softer than Chinese cake and Elon, the fraud. Y'all raked them over the coals for the H-1B fiasco last Christmas. Are y'all going to rake this man over this? I just want to know. I just want to know. Look, the retard of TikTok. Look, she's putting up stories. How is this happening? The Chinese nationals are required by law in China to gather and provide intelligence to the CCP when coming on a student visa. We take 300,000 Chinese students a year. There's currently an organized spy ring in our universities, and it must be stopped. Well, let's see what this is.
And this should shock no one. So the report came out. It said right now in the United States of America, at one of our universities, there is an organized, orchestrated spy ring. To put this in perspective, when I got here, I said, when I was told that there was a Chinese law in place that required Chinese nationals, including students that come to the United States on visas, and by the way, we take 300,000 Chinese students a year into our universities, there's a law in the books that says they have to provide intelligence gathering and information to the CCP. We also had information in Congress before I even got here that they were setting up these programs to organize spies and push them into our universities using visas. And when I got here and realized that there was no law stopping the visa program, even though we had that information, I immediately launched a bill that would end visas for Chinese students. Now, nothing against Chinese students that want to learn, but if you have a government that is enlisting them, and not just enlisting them, requiring them by law under penalty to be espionage agents when they get here, we cannot keep inviting them into our nation. And so time after time over the last few years, we have found Chinese students with drones, cameras on our military bases, stealing information at our universities, and nothing has been done. So when this report came out 2 days ago, I was not surprised because we launched this bill and we've been advocating and trying to get someone's attention that there were spy rings here right now. Now, hopefully, we will see some action not only by the university that's been informed of this, where their students saying it's happening, but by the government to do an investigation.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit, bro.
Lady, please. If Trump told y'all to do 100 jumping jacks in front of him with no shirt on, you'd do it because you love MAGA. Shut up. Oh, but what if I told you? Now, the bioagent story is real, but what if I told you that they pulled something else that should really alarm you? Oh, you don't believe me? I figured you didn't. Well, guess what I found?
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
Yeah, they're trying to, and I mentioned this during our series as well, that they were trying to get into the law sector, help they people out some. Nothing wrong with that, but you should be alarmed. Via the campus reform, LSAT suspends online testing in China after alleged data theft tied to Chinese prep companies. We talked about that in length. Chinese companies preparing students for the American Law School admission test, or the LSAT, have gained unauthorized access to US-based LSAT preparation companies and stolen information. Liberal universities are more vulnerable to influence from the Chinese government due to downplaying foreign interference by naming it xenophobia, ignoring legitimate national security concerns in the name of empathy. This came out 2 days ago. Chinese companies preparing students for the American Law School admission test have gained unauthorized access to US-based LSAT preparation companies and stolen information, according to the Law School Admission Council, the organization that administers the American LSAT. After the C-19 scandemic, LSAT began permitting remote LSAT administration. In China, that shift fueled the lucrative market of firms exploiting loopholes in LSAT's online security, enabling hired test takers armed with fake identification to impersonate students and complete the exam from abroad. Remember when we were going over those rings and they were saying how these people that were hired by these families to get their kids in, some of them would end up taking their ID and then logging in and taking a test for them just so they can make sure to get their kickback? Yeah, they're still doing it. Still doing it. LSAT announced in August that it has suspended online testing from mainland China. The suspension came amid concerns that Chinese actors compromised and penetrated remote testing systems and services. Pause. New reports, including one by Dave Killoran, the CEO of PowerScore, an American LSAT prep company, reveal just how these Chinese companies are scamming the LSAT. Killoran said a Chinese whistleblower told him last May that he had access to whatever appeared to be stolen LSAT questions. The whistleblower was frustrated how easy it was to gain access to cheat materials. Killoran told the Washington Free Beacon that screenshots of the test questions are compiled into PDFs and sold to students who can't pay the high fees for a proxy test taker. Chinese companies have been charging up to $8,000 for the stolen information. These firms advertise guaranteed results through encrypted social media channels and claim to have access to upcoming LSAT questions weeks before the exam. Actors reportedly stole this information through a variety of means, one of the most prominent being hiding high-definition cameras to photograph in-person and remote exam questions. This is not the first time that Chinese influence has penetrated American higher education. The Hudson Institute conducted a report on Harvard University published in June that highlighted how Harvard was training Chinese government officials. The report said that Harvard provided training to Chinese state officials linked to the repression of Uyghurs in Xinjiang, potentially breaching U.S. sanctioned laws. I'm probably fucked that name up, but that's just me. The Hudson Institute said of its report that it, quote, barely scratches the surface of the Chinese Communist Party's infiltration of Harvard and U.S. higher education broadly. Americans for Public Trust released a report earlier this year detailing how China and other foreign governments have funneled billions of dollars into U.S. colleges and universities. According to the findings, New York University has received nearly $350 million in Chinese funding, making it the largest known recipient of such contributions over the past several decades. Well, ain't that something? And here's the list. We got New York University, Harvard, Stanford, Juilliard. That's Juilliard. Say less. I guess Juilliard must be in the habit of making new K-pop stars. I'm just saying. But you see this here? Nearly 12 billion from China and Qatar. And who did Trump go and give money to and get money back? I find that funny. I find it funny. I played that sound by 14 people left. I understand. Who else we got? Columbia, site of all those protests. University of Pennsylvania, top school. Yale University, top school. Rochester Institute of Technology, they're like on the fringe. Arizona State University. University of Chicago, top school. Hong Kong has flooded over 100 American schools with nearly $2 billion. 75% of this foreign money, or $1.39 billion, has made its way to just 10 of the country's most elite and prestigious universities and colleges. Harvard again, Yale, Stanford, Princeton, University of Chicago again, UC Berkeley, MIT, University of Southern California, Columbia University, Cornell, and Qatar. Oil-rich Gulf state has poured over $6.25 billion into U.S. colleges and universities, with 99% of this colossal sum going to only 10 schools. Cornell, Texas A&M, Carnegie Mellon, Georgetown, Northwestern, VCU, Houston Community College. Now, that one, I got to see why. Harvard, Xavier University of Louisiana, University of Colorado at Denver. I wonder why that has a double asterisk. Program receives Qatari funding, now defunct. Okay. That's why. So they stopped. So I was wondering why there's only one community college on here, but okay. 10 schools raking over $20 billion in foreign cash. And then there's your 10. Remember what we said about Georgetown when we did the David G. Jang story? How his sister went to Georgetown? His parents went to Georgetown, even though they tried to play it off like they ran from communist China, even though they had, I tell you, they be lying blood. The model minority. Love it. Beautiful. This motherfucker said, oh Lord, he said heavily biased. Oh my God. So campus reform is heavily biased. Why would, okay, let me explain. What's the bias? A student writing a story about what's going on in LSAT is heavily biased. Where was the bias anywhere in this? Okay. I see. You're going to be that person. Okay. All right. So let me guess. So Reuters is biased. Should I have used Reuters? You're going to tell me Reuters is biased too, right? Because they lean to the right. They're biased. All these sites that put it out there, they're biased. How do we weed through it? If you're still here, because we know how y'all are. Power Score. There you go. They're talking about it. Bias. Oh boy. But anyway. They're saying I should have used Reuters, fam. You know, it is what it is. And there you go. HBCU is trending because Trump said it. By the way, MAGA, is this what you voted for? I'm just saying, how's this America first? I'm just saying. I mean, I kind of want him to come outside and say that Laura Ingram's fake news. I mean, that would just like destroy X. And there goes that CJG. Always got FBA in his mouth. I don't know. That's some level of devotion, boy. But anyway, wasn't that wonderful? Your man is selling you out. He took your vote and gave it to China. Talking about he beating China. Okay. Okay. Sure. Well, before we drop the link, we got something we have to show you. As basically what this whole live was revolved around. You're going to love this. Just listen. No emotion in it. Just listen.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
Now, this came,
which is a very sensitive topic, but I think we can't avoid talking about it. It is simply a fact that fraud and cheating and academic dishonesty are regarded very differently in China and India than they are here in the United States. Many people in this room are college students. We've got a lot of students here. Many of you probably attend schools with large numbers of international students. I am sure you have observed organized cheating rings. I was recently at an alumni event at my alma mater, and I asked students there, both international students and American-born students whose parents were Indian or Chinese immigrants, and they all said that from day one of enrolling in their classes, they were inundated with WhatsApp messages offering services of essay writing, or to sell them copies of tests in advance, or to involve them in homework rings where they would give you the answer to that week's problem set.
Well. Hey, model minority, let me holler at you. Y'all can't perform. Y'all need to cheat. I know y'all like to throw them videos around of, you know, students in classes putting together guns and all that, and they're learning math, like complex math in like 3rd grade. I respect it. But why is it, what happened between 3rd grade and when y'all come over here? Do y'all just like lose all that? Why do you need to cheat? Let me help you. A lot of these companies in America, they don't give a damn if you have 100% all the way around. They don't care. They're looking for the best people they can exploit. They're looking for the best people that are stupid. And y'all keep doing this stuff, y'all making them think that you guys are stupid.
If you talk to professors at schools that have large numbers of international students, they'll tell you, they'll tell you off the record, that for example, the test of English as a foreign language, which is supposed to test your English proficiency in order to come here and become an international student, they see students every year whose scores indicate that they ought to be proficient in English, but who, when you meet the student, can't carry on a civil
Look
conversation.
at them. Oh, the big bad CIA can't say the N-word. Oh, come on. You and this punk over here. Come on. Y'all could say the N-word in here. Come on. You just proved to us that government agencies are pussies. And that's Pussy. You're pussy. But since it's two of you, P-U-S-S-I-E-S. Now come on. Say the N-word. It's okay. And you know why it's okay? Because you have low testosterone. And we don't beat up on people with low testosterone. I would ask you to spell that, but we know you're just going to go Google and copy and paste. And you're going to spell it wrong. It's okay. You spell testosterone like tetrazzini. We understand. The big bad CIA on a mobile phone. I should have been on TikTok so y'all can get in trouble. Because it's banned on government phones. But you know. Here, since you want to say the N-word so bad, I'm going to show you an N-word according to your standard. But he's a real one.
Ha ha! Joke's on you. Can't follow a simple lecture. Professors will only tell you this off the record for a lot of reasons. One, because the schools don't want to publicize that they now have a cheating problem, but also because it can get them in trouble. I'll tell you an anecdote from the University of Maryland, just in our backyard here. A professor there at their business school ended up having to throw out all of the results of a final exam for one of his classes because...
By the way, for those who don't know, this Intercollegiate Studies Institute is one of them conservative think tanks. Just got to give you proper context. So all this whining that they're doing, this is conservative whining. And we should have known it was conservative by who's talking on stage, because this is what conservatives like. They love the Velma aesthetic, except she don't look like Velma. She looked like Thelma from Appalachia. I'm just saying.
Cheating was so rampant. And in telling his students, in telling his class that he was throwing out all of their test scores, he expressed his dismay at the rise in academic dishonesty that he had observed in the period when foreign students from China had begun to enroll in large numbers in the business school there. That professor was forced to resign because the Chinese students whose cheating he had detected went to the administration and accused him of racial profiling.
AKA.
Are you gonna cry? That's okay. We all have emotions.
The professor would have been gangster if he would have said that. I'd have looked him dead and felt like, are you gonna cry? That's racial profiling? You ain't seen nothing yet.
This is very common. You see it a lot at the UC schools in California, which also have large numbers of foreign students from China. They have learned that if you cry,
is that great value water?
It can insulate students from scrutiny into cheating and make life hell for any professor who accuses you of it. So this kind of fraud is under-discussed, and it's important to talk about it, even though it's a difficult issue. One, because cheating is contagious. If I don't want to see the stigma on cheating erode in America to the levels where it is in India and China. Two, on cheating. One, because cheating is contagious. If I don't want to see
MAGA
the
should
stigma
know about
on
that.
Cheating erode in America to the levels where it is in India and China. Two, because it's not going to stay on campus. It's going to follow this them into their careers as pharmacists or researchers, and at that point, it starts affecting all of us. But the third reason, which is under-discussed, I will have my final quote where I'm reading. There's a pseudonymous blogger called The Education Realist who teaches public school out in California who writes a lot about Asian cheating. And he's said something very moving. He said, in the traditional weeding out courses in STEM majors and colleges, like organic chemistry for pre-med, the willingness to accept cheating is convincing a lot of American kids that they aren't smart enough for tough courses because they don't cheat and they aren't aware that others do. So that's who I think about when I think about the rise of cheating and how it affects the rest of us. My final...
Damn. Hey, fam, what happened to her? I guess all that grifting must be, you must eat good. 4 years. That's a lot. That's all right. But there you go. So your quote unquote conservative president wants to sit there and bring in foreign students when he's supposed to be America first. And the conservatives over there, they're trying to tell everybody how bad this is, but they secretly want this because it's going to somehow affect HBCUs. Isn't that something? Well, let's see what y'all got to say. If y'all got to say something, cool. If you don't, it's all right. I go get ready for work. And again, shout out to the veterans in the chat and those that will see this on the replay. But this is them. This is MAGA, again, crying on a problem that they could have nipped in the bud when he got in the first time, but they didn't want to. And they could have done it this time, but they didn't want to because they were so focused on winning and still can't tell us what they're winning. But sure, it's okay. He putting out tariff dividends that you might have to pay back after you get it. But that's all right. Well, while we wait, we're going to honor our Black veterans one time. There was a story. You know what? How many veterans I got in here? Put a one if you're a veteran. Cause I might as well talk to y'all about this before we go, instead of doing a whole nother video or live about it. Kind of want to get y'all's perspective on this. Because Trump and them pulled some BS the other day, and now it's getting circulated, but I found out about it. Shout out to brother Jeff Charles. Yeah. Trump pulled some BS the other day over there in the Netherlands. I don't know if you heard about it, but there was a memorial for Black veterans over there from, I guess, World War II. And you know how the DOJ is with this quote unquote woke BS. Yeah. Yeah, they pulled it.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern in.
Yeah, it says memorial to Black U.S. soldiers who died in World War II quietly removed. Plaques commemorating African-American soldiers fighting against Nazi Germany in Europe have been removed from a U.S. military cemetery in the Netherlands. Approximately 1 million African-American soldiers fought in Europe during World War II. More than 8,200 Americans are buried at the Netherlands American Cemetery in the southern village of Margarethen, I guess, just east of city of Maastricht. Another 1,700 officially counted as missing have their names displayed at the site, according to the American Battle Monuments Commission, the U.S. agency responsible for the Dutch site. A total of 174 African-American soldiers are buried or memorialized at Margarethen, according to the Dutch research project, the Black Liberators. It is the only U.S. military cemetery in the country. Dutch media reported earlier this month 2 informational panels about African-American soldiers in the mid-20th century war had been taken down in the cemetery's visitors center. A local official who was granted anonymity to speak freely told Newsweek the ABMC did not inform authorities in the Limburg province, where the cemetery is located, of the removal. A spokesperson for the Black Liberators Project separately confirmed to Newsweek on Monday the panels have been taken down and were not currently on display. It's not clear exactly when the panels were removed. The panels were added to the Visitor Center in mid-2024, probably because of pushes from then U.S. Ambassador to the Netherlands, Shafali Razdan Duggal. The Black Liberators Project said, but they were removed again earlier this summer, the initiative said. Yeah. Yeah. They did that shit. Am I pro-Trump or anti-Trump? Fuck him. And F the Democrats too. Both sides are killing us right now. So there's the answer. Take it with how you want. F him. That man is selling us out to Asia, carving us up. And it's only going to get worse. And it's fixing to get worse when he drops that crime bill. Good. 13 people left that I said that. I care less. Screw him. And I'd say it to his face. Anyway, I'm fixing to go get ready for work. So hopefully you learned something. If you did, it done my job. If not, I'll try to be better next time. Well, listen, Damon, I understand y'all saying that, but you know this is international. So you know they have to keep, they still don't know the correct term. They'll know about it about 2045. By then, y'all will probably be something else with reparations. So, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, y'all, enjoy your Tuesday. Again, if you're a veteran, you know what we're going to do before we leave? Veterans, sound off. We're gonna find out where y'all can get freebies today. We're going to be nice. Let's see. Where I know y'all all now, y'all don't want to go outside because, you know, it's cold. And you don't want to spend money in this economy, and it might be a little tough right now, but if free, go get that. Let's see who giving out. Texas Roadhouse. I know y'all love their bread. Go get you a steak, please. Please. And look, they're giving out free vouchers. You can use it up to next year. Come on now, put that in your back pocket. You may get hungry one day. Just saying. Chipotle from 4 to 8 local time. Guess who ordered an entree in restaurant, present a valid military ID, will receive a second entree for free. You get 2 meals for 1. Come on, veterans. Y'all, I think y'all love Chipotle. I think so. Wendy's. I know y'all don't eat Wendy's, but you better hurry up. You got about an hour and a half. Well, an hour. You get a free breakfast combo. Come on now. Let's see what other restaurants y'all got on here, and then we'll go to the retail. I don't know what 54th Street Grill is, but maybe you got one in your city. Another Broken Egg Cafe, another one. You get a complimentary French toast with strawberries, blueberries, and whipped cream with coffee. Wow. Shout out to the veterans, boy. You get a free meal at Applebee's. The Army and Air Force Exchange Service. Damn. So hold up. Army and Air Force Exchange Service. You got to pay for your food. Y'all out of line. Come on now. So other places are giving you free food and never mind. Y'all probably know what that is better. I actually have a Bad Daddy's by me, but I'm not a veteran. Veterans and active duty military get a free 5-ounce Bad Daddy's All-American burger with cheese. They give you cheese. They love their veterans, boy. And a choice of a side. Y'all better get. I think they have seasoned fries. Make sure you get the seasoned fries. I'm getting them dry ass yellow fries. Don't do that. Beef O'Brady's. I know it's some of y'all in Florida. Y'all about to go crazy, boy. Let's see. BJ's restaurant. I'm sure some of y'all got that. Bob Evans, I'm sure. California Pizza Kitchen. Complimentary entree and beverage from a special prefix menu. Get some. And they give you more. As an extra thank you, all veterans and active duty service members who dine with CPK on Veterans Day will receive a buy one, get one bounce back card redeemable for a pizza, pasta, or salad on a future visit. But you got to buy it between tomorrow and the 25th. which I think is the day before. I want to say it. No, that's that Tuesday. I was going to say, I thought that was the day before Thanksgiving. Let's see. Cattleman's. Oh, that's in California, though. So shout out to them. Chili's, look, free meal. Get some. Circle K. They could at least give the veterans some free gas. Jesus Christ. Only coffee? Bastards. Dave and Buster's, get some. Go play to your heart's content on $10. But you get free food. Get some. Denny's, I know y'all love y'all. I know y'all love y'all's Denny's. I know that. Dickie's barbecue pit, get some. Pulled pork. So if that person Muslim, they in trouble. They can't do none of this. All right. Einstein Bros Bagels, okay. Another coffee. You can't give them a free. Guests can enjoy the complimentary coffee in bakery. You only gonna give them coffee. You can't even give them a free bagel. Assholes. Famous Days, another pork sandwich. Damn. Love them some pork sandwiches, boy. Where's McDonald's? Let me see if McDonald's giving away. Jay Christopher, shout out to Jay Christopher. Oh, Charlie's are still around? I did not know that. Now McDonald's says, screw the veterans, boy. Olive Garden. Each veteran and current member of the military who dines in gets a free entree from a special menu. Shout out to him. Outback, okay. Red Robin. I didn't even know Red Robin's still in there. Ruby Tuesday. Free garden bar entree or free garden bar add-on. Damn. Shout out to Sheets. Sizzler's still around. I did not know Sizzler's still around. Smoothie King, go get it. Yeah, go be healthy. Please go be healthy. Sonny's Barbecue. Oh, STK. I used to work there. They receive a complimentary entree up to $69. That's nice of them. White Castle. Free individual combo meal or breakfast combo. Get some. Get some. Top of New York said 2075. I don't know if they that late. Oh yeah, I didn't look at IHOP. That's a good thing. Let me see what IHOP got. Oh, you get a free red, white, and blueberry pancakes or pancake combo. Get some. All right, let's see. That's what. All right, let me see what the retail is, and then I'm out of here. 9/11 Memorial Museum. That's for you New Yorkers. Harley Davidson Museum. Okay. Oh, you get free museum admission for themselves, one adult guest, and up to 4 children. Oh, that's nice. Well, a lot of kids are out of school today, except in the South. Cincinnati Zoo. Dave and Buster's, we did. Knott's Berry Farm. Lansu Chinese Garden. Nashville Zoo, National Parks. Yeah, you guys, if it's warm enough, go to National Park today. They're waiving the entrance fee. New York Waterway, you get to ride the ferry for free. Cold ass New York, you get to be on a ferry. But there you go. We check out for our veterans. What's healthy to get at Smoothie King? Fruits. Here's the thing with Smoothie King. Stay away from the sugar stuff. Just ask them to just put the fruits that you want and just water. Don't put no base, because they put bases in it. Bases have a lot of soy in it. But you can also, they have sandwiches there too. I think. I might be confusing it with Tropical Smoothie King, but I'm sure there's something there. Yeah, go to Yellowstone. There you go. And let's hope the guys that don't explode, because that guys that explode, this whole country screwed. Anyway, y'all. All right, let me get up out of here, get ready for work. Again, shout out to the veterans. Y'all take care, stay safe, and you know what to do when the agents of chaos come to mess up your existence.
us up.
Get your ass up. We gotta get out of here now.
But did we have a good time here? Hello?
Gotta get your groove on.
At the end of the day gotta end.
That's it.